Vic.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, fine. How are you?
Doing good, sir?
Yeah, this done?
Right.
Yeah, and then that okay, everything for from your end? Always, I just want to know from you and
What did you say?
is that fine, everything, all the terminology is comfortable to you?
Yeah, I was able to print out the transcript. I didn't read through it. It makes more sense to me now.
Okay, fine, no issues. Right, wisdom, is that comfortable to you? Fine, then I think it must be comfortable. Ben, can you hear me? Ben, can you hear me? I think you're trying to speak something. Yeah. Okay. Right, Vivek, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So everything is fine.
Everything is fine, sir.
No issues, right. The census, the terminology is very important for us.
Okay.
The terminology which we have to concentrate. So if you're comfortable with the terminology, we can just go ahead, no issues. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like to see the conviction, like, I'm going to have this conviction when I was looking, when I was going through the material. I don't know if this is correct. Like, I was kind of reading the material, and I was like, okay, then, when we are considering extended star schema, you can see that the star schema is an integral part of the extended star schema. Is that correct?
Star schema, I didn't get to last point, was that? Star schema?
Okay, what I'm saying is I take the conviction that then within our extended star schema, we can see the star schema is an integral part of it.
Your volume is not clear, Wisdom, I think. It's getting little echo, yeah.
What he's saying is that the star, what he has come to the conviction or understanding that the star schema is an integral part of the schema.
Extended star schema is an integral part of our star schema. That's what you mean to say?
So what I mean to say is that the star schema is an integral part of the extended star schema.
I can say the star schema is extended star schema is the next concept of your star schema only. See, the concept is fact table and dimension table. See, for the star schema, the dimension table holds master data. If it is extended star schema, dimension table, it doesn't hold any master data. So you can say it as more or less, there are many similarities.
Because if you show me the extended star schema, if you show me the outline of the extended star schema, I can put the star schema within it. That's what I'm saying. That the star
Yes, you can say it as.
Right.
Yeah. But only the difference is dimension table holds master data if it is star schema. And if it is extended star schema, dimension table doesn't hold any kind of master data. It is outside the dimension. The surrogate IDs are going to be there in the dimension if it is extended star schema. So everything is fine, right? So what is that we are talking about the functions of workbench, right? I'm supposed to discuss. I told you what is the client, what is the server. Right. So this is the client, the viewer which we are going to use. I told you there are different client versions. Just select that. And here we are using a non-IDOS system. That is client 001. So you can just give the privileges. I think everybody has got the privileges. If anybody is missing, just shoot a mail to your support team. Right. You can do that, doesn't matter. Right. Not now. Later you can just do it. Just try to follow my session as of now. I'm going to talk to you all the terminology related to the ABW system now. So that.
I mean, the login is available, so I try to log in and check, so it's available and we can try it out anytime, but I think right now we want to take the message.
Yeah, yes, that's what we do. Just go through the session and later you can just log in now. Whatever you want to see, you can just go through that later. So select the consent system, go with login. Now we are in easy access. I told you we can, with each login you can go by 6 sessions. So /n will skip the current session, /o will open a new session. With each login you can go by 6 sessions. Otherwise we can use this option, otherwise we can use this trade session. So when something is going on for a long time, if you want to stop the transaction, use the stop transaction. And I told you there is some designer. What is that? There is a designer as part of system architecture. I told you something called data warehousing workbench. What is the need of this? Anybody? Yes, using this we can design the data model of warehouse. Data model of the data warehouse. And to get into this workbench, I told you there is a standard transaction code. What is that? RS. That's what. The transaction code. That. Right. So let me show you RS-E1. Now you can see the screen name is Data Warehousing Workbench Modeling. You can see this is Data Warehousing Workbench and we are in modeling. So I will explain you one by one now. So I just want to go by one now. So first one I am talking about, you can see here, modeling, administration, transport connection, documents, BA content, translation and metadata repository. In the live, you will not be working like this, but just to make you comfortable with the terminology, I am giving you all this information. Just try to feel comfortable with BABW terminology. You are going to get all the things. You are going to be habituated. You need not to worry about that. Right. So these are the functions. The first function I am talking about, modeling function. See, model is a design. Model is a design. Using this, we can design the data model. We can design the objects which are required for. Using this, we can design the objects which are required for data loading from source system to BW system. So I am talking about modeling. Model is a design. Using this, we can design the objects which are required for data loading from source system to BW system. What are the objects we can design? I will tell you one by one. So first one I am starting with info objects. You can see here in the system itself, you can see info objects. I am talking about modeling, and the first one I am talking about info objects. So they are the core building blocks, you can say. So everything in system has to be started with info objects. They are the core building blocks of SAP BW system. Info objects are core building blocks of SAP BW system, nothing but chars and key figures. Info objects are nothing but chars and key figures. What is a char, anybody? Yes. It is the base of the data analysis, and I told you all the data types for chars. Like alphabets, alphanumerics, numerics which are constant, like this. Then key figures are nothing but business fact or validation, like sales, revenue, cost, like this. What are the data types for key figures? Amount, quantity, amount, quantity, numbers which are not constant, like this. So now what are the info objects? Nothing but chars and key figures. Any questions, anybody? Second one I'm talking about info providers. You can see here info providers. Any questions, anybody? So if you refer to your system architecture, I told you master data is loaded to master tables and transaction data is loaded to DSO and info queue. I told you master data is loaded to master tables and transaction data is loaded to DSO as well as info queue. And if I report on my warehouse, see the master data is displayed from master tables and transaction data is displayed from DSO and info queue. So with respect to reporting, they are known as info providers. So what are the info providers now? Master tables, DSO and info queue. So there is something to look for. Yeah, done. I think it's doing some little echo. Can you just mute your microphone, Dan? Yeah. I think it's okay now. 1 second, it's okay now. Fine. Yeah. Right. So I'm talking about info providers. Info providers are nothing but information providers. For your reports, the master data is displayed from master data tables. And the transaction data is displayed from DSO as well as info queue. So with respect to reporting, they are all known as info providers. That's what I need to say. So next one, source system. I can say it as application system. Source system or application system. I told you all your day-to-day operations are maintained in application system. From this application system only we are moving the data. So what is this? It can be SAP application or it can be non-SAP application, anything. The source sending data to BW system. Source system is nothing but source sending data to BW system. That's what. Any questions, anybody? Comfortable, Elvish? Yeah. Right. So I told you SAP as well as non-SAP. SAP applications like ERP system, CRM system, and so on. Non-SAP systems like database system, file system, or some web-based systems. Right, you can see here. So info objects, info providers. Next one is source systems. I told you. Next one I'm just going for data sources. I'm talking about data source. See, it is the structure of the data in the source system. I'm talking about data source. It is the structure of the data in the source system. So for example, I'm uploading data from file system here. Uploading data from file system like Excel. Uploading data from file system like Excel. So in the Excel, let's say the data is like this: 100, 11, 2001, 01, some 23rd. Right. Employee 100, product 11, D is something like this. Sales is some 125. Let's say times, and the sales is some revenue is some $1,200, let's say. So this is the I'm talking about data source. Nothing but it is the structure of the data in the source system. It is the structure of the data in the source system. Right. See, this is the data. Let's say this is the record I want to upload. This record is having some structure. Nothing but data source like employee ID, product ID, day, sales, and the units, revenue, then currency. So all this is known as data source, and it holds always source columns. holds the source columns. That's what I mean to say. So data source always it holds source columns. Excel header row is nothing but your data source. Any questions, anybody? Very important. Just to tell you these three structures only, I'm just coming over here. Data source and info source. As part of ETL, we are going to make use of these two only. The data source and info sources. This is very, very important. Right, just to tell you this only we are making. Right. Next one, I'm talking about, so the data source is copied to BW system known as transfer structure. Data source always equals transfer structure since it is a copy. Data source always equals transfer structure. So in the source system, it is known as data source. So when it comes to SAP BW system, it is copied as transfer structure. Right. So data source is nothing but structure of the data in the source. In that structure, what is it? You are going to have columns. These columns refers to source system. That's what I mean to say. Right. So next one, just talking about info source. Info source, or you can say it as communication structure. So it is the structure of the BW system. It is the structure of the BW system which holds the chars and key figures for data loading. It holds the chars and key figures for data loading, and this is from BW system. These chars, we are going to create some chars and key figures, like let's say for example, z_employee ID, generic column, z_product ID. If you want to make use of SAP delivered, you can make use. Zero currently, that is SAP delivered now. So z_sales quantity, 0 unit, that is also SAP delivered. z_revenue and 0 currency. Just hold on a sec. Yes, so I'm talking about source system, source sending data to BW system. I'm talking about data source, structure of the data in the source system. And I'm also talking about info source or communication structure. So what is this? It is the structure of the BW system. See, it holds required chars and key figures for data loading. See, what is that we are doing? We are just doing ETL. So what is this ETL? Transfer, extraction. Yeah. Right. What is this transformation? Mapping. What is it we are mapping? Mapping of source columns with target columns. Mapping of source columns with target columns. That's what. So what is your source here? Transfer structure. Nothing but data source. The source is transfer structure. Target is nothing but communication structure. Without mapping, we cannot upload the data. Without proper mapping, we cannot upload the data. As part of mapping, so we are going to use in 3.5 something called transfer rules. In 7 it is used transformation. What is this mapping? Let me tell you. Yes. Copy. Right. So this is my communication structure, or you can say it as info source. I want to map to employee, product to product, day to day, sales to sales, unit to unit, revenue to revenue, currency to currency. I just want to map employee to employee, product to product, day to day, sales to sales, unit to unit, revenue to revenue, currency to currency. So this mapping is direct mapping. This mapping is done through transformation or transfer rules.
Okay, so let's say,
Yeah.
for the data source, you based on revenue. But for the communication structure, you had revenue. Pop out, right?
Right, 1 second. Like, I got revenue and cost. Here I got revenue,
Yeah, exactly.
cost, and I got something called gross profit.
Exactly.
So what is that? Gross profit can be revenue minus cost. You can use some rules. Right? I'll come to that. So using this, we can have communication structure columns with data target. That is, we can have communication structure columns with data source columns. That's what your transformation or transfer rules. Getting the point? Transformation in 7, transfer rules in 3.5. That's what. So using this, we can map communication structure columns with data source columns. Right, and there are different types of transformations. Types of transformations. One is info object. Second one, constant. Third one, routine. Fourth one, formula. So here in this case we can use some formula. Routine is a bad coding. Info object is nothing but one-to-one mapping. Employee to employee, product to product, day to child day, sales to sales, like this. Like this. So types of transformations, info object. Then constant. Constant is a fixed value. Like if you take out a financial year, so for every country, for every record, it is fixed. So you can just go by constant. And routine is about coding, where we are supposed to write some logic. Formula is mathematical operators. Any questions, anybody? Anybody, any questions? Is it comfortable, Elvis? So, Wisdom, anything? Then, I think it's comfortable. Yeah, Vivek?
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah. So these are the different types of transformations. So we have seen source system, data source, info object, and info providers. This is OpenHub destination. Need not to worry much about this. OpenHub destination. Using this, we can share VW data to external systems. Using this, we can share VW data to external systems like file system or database system. File system or database systems, something like this. That's it. I got some pricing information in my DAB system which I want to share to a customer. So you can use, see, so far we are extracting data, but in this case we are retracting data from DAB system to external systems by using OpenHub destination. That's what your modeling function. Right, the sign and products, that's okay. You can just go by next function, that is administration. Or you can say it as monitoring. Using this, we can monitor the data loads from application system to BW system. I told you from the source system, that is very important. I'll come to that then. I'm going to explain. I'm just giving only the introduction. We are going to upload the data. During that time, you can see how we are going to map. Right. Good. So I'm talking about administration and monitoring. So I told you from the source system. So from the source system using ETL, the data is uploaded to warehouse at regular intervals like hourly loads daily loads, weekly loads, monthly loads like this. So the load can be successful as well as failed. If it is successful, how many transferred from the source, how many added to the target? If it is failed, in which process it is failed? Why it is failed, in which process it is failed? So we have to monitor it. In which process it is failed and where it is failed, we have to monitor. Right. So which can be done by using this administration function. And apart from this data load monitoring, we can monitor something called DSO status, which I am going to talk to you as part of our DSOs. And we can monitor aggregate status, and we got something called BW statistics. Like this. So like this, we have to go by administration or monitoring. Administration or monitoring. That's what. Using this, we can monitor all your system simple. Load monitoring, status monitoring, statistics monitoring, etc. So any questions?
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
For the monitoring, I mean, do you decide how often you want to monitor that, or SAP, is built, to monitor, its own rate?
Each and every data load is monitored.
Okay, is it a daily, weekly?
Depends on your application, sometimes hourly also.
Okay.
Right. So next function I'm talking about is transport connection. Hello? Wisdom? One second, I'll drop you and I'll add you in the conference. Wisdom? One second. Yeah. Yeah, Wisdom, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I'm asking if you also have to check the monitoring for successful upload or failure upload. You always have to monitor to make sure it's loaded or you finish the loading. Besides that, do you have to always monitor whether for every load whether it has failed or it has succeeded?
And we can have some automated messages.
I think you go ahead to the game. I don't know.
What's that he's saying here?
Hello?
Yeah, Wisdom.
Yeah, can you hear me now, right?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I was asking if you always have to monitor for failure or for success.
Can you just drop a message, Wisdom? Yeah, 1 second then. Yeah, you're asking something. When model do you... So everything we are supposed to design. Of course, in the line you're going to be given with a spec. As per the spec, we have to design and transport, that's all. So everything we are not going to develop, you are going to have the specs given by the senior consultants. Right, as per the specs given by them, we need to design and transport, that's all. Yeah, Wisdom, can you just drop a message? Hello? Yeah, just drop a message, Wisdom. Yeah, just do it. That's what we can make it some automated messages to Wisdom. So we have got some. Yes, about the message, see, normally we need not to manually go also, we can have some automated messages. So in case of failures, so we are going to attend it manually. Right. So I'm talking about now transport connection. Talking about transport connection, using this, we can transport the objects from development to testing and testing to production. I told you SAP is suggesting three system landscape. So I told you development system, development where we are going to design all the project implementation, all the programming. For implementing any of the projects, like whatever objects are designed, everything is designed in development system. So all the project elements must be designed in development system. In development system, let's say for example, I want to create some info kit, I want to create some DS, I want to generate some reports. So everything must be designed in development system. The design work starts with on this development system. Then we got something called testing, where we are going to perform different testings like unit testing, system integration testing like this. So just whatever may be the testing you're doing, just to test the objects for different functionalities. Whether it is designed as per the requirement or not, we have to go by this. So normally we are going to have a testing team, right? So to test the objects for different functionalities, right? And the permission here, it is only display permission, keep in mind. You are going to have only display only, but when it comes to development system, you are going to have display as well as creation, since we are a developer, and even you can go on with modifications also. Right. So development system, we are developing the objects, and in testing system we want to test the same objects. Means to say, the objects developed in development system must be tested in testing system. Means to say, the objects developed in development system must be transported to testing, and even from testing also we have to transport to production. Production is a live system, so display only on this, where the end user is going to access all the information from production system only. The business user will access all the information from production system. So using this transport connection, what is that? We can transport the objects from development to testing, testing to production. Simple. And apart from this, we have got something called mirror system, which is a backup. Mirror system is a backup, which is out of landscape, backup to production system. And I told you sandbox systems. Sometimes the system environment starts from sandbox also, rarely. The sandbox system is a training system. It is a training system, that's what I mean to say. Sandbox system is a training system. Right. So here, what is the need of transport connection? Using this, we can transport the objects from one environment to other environment. Simple. Development to testing, testing to production. Any questions, anybody?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes.
So we do this development, testing, and production in a data warehouse workbench, right?
In the data warehouse workbench, yeah, we can say it as we are going to develop all the objects in data warehousing workbench. And testing, they used to follow some different testing tools.
Okay.
Right, to the testing unit. Normally, we don't do that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Alright, just wanted to
Yeah.
get a development in the workbench.
Yes. All the design.
Okay.
Right.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know if all these three match together.
Is it done?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to know if these three match together, the development, the testing, the production, they all match together and one tool without the other.
See, this is all developed by your basis team, and they should be integrated. There is something called transportation routings, which is taken care by your basis team. Routings. between development to testing, testing to production. Transportation routings are maintained. So this is done by basis team. I told you there are different team structures like the technical team, functional team, behavioral consultants, XI consultants, like this. So and basis team, security team, I told you. So this basis team used to configure all this in development, testing and production environments. Right?
Right. So what can I choose to do by the development? Or how to put in a routine?
Come again?
Well, I always have to put in a routine, or I can only choose the development.
You're using your headphone or you're using inbuilt microphone, Wisdom? Headphone. Okay. Well, it must be clear. Your voice is not clear. Yeah, it's giving echo also. Hello. Oh, boy. Yeah, Wisdom. Yeah. Can you just drop a message, Wisdom? Drop a message, yes. So the routines and all development, everything we are going to design in development system only. Everything must be developed in development system only. Then we are going to transport them. So we don't design anything in testing or production. The design must be started with development environment only. Right. Is that fine, Wisdom? Yeah. Your voice is not very clear to me. It's giving some noise. Right, no problem. You can just drop a message. No issues. Yeah. So I'm talking about documents now. What is this? Using this, we can maintain the documentation regarding all the developments of the system. We can maintain the document. You can cite us regarding all the developments of the system. Like user created. You created some object, let's say you generated some report. So who is the user created? On which date it is created? Right. So what is the business functionality? Business functionality. Version. Like this. It's going to be given with some of the documentation which we need not to worry. That's part of our training. So it's just to maintain some documentation regarding all the developments of the system. So this is the next one I'm talking about, which is a very important one, business content. So what is the advantage of package? Anybody? What is the advantage of package? Package, any ERP package. Let's say package is ERP package, let's say. What is the advantage? Everything is pre-delivered as per the customer requirement. We can start customizing it. So same way, I told you something called zero. Zero is the prefix for SAP delivered objects. That's what I was telling you. For SAP delivered BW objects. So all the delivered objects are there in business content. And simply you can say business content is a set of pre-delivered objects by SAP.
Everything that has perfect.
Yes.
That's it.
SAP BABW. SAP BABW, I mean to say not other ERP packages or CRM systems or anything. So I'm talking with respect to BABW. In BABW system, all the delivered objects are prefixed with 0. And that's what is the advantage of semi-package? It's going to save a lot of time and money of the project. We need not to develop right from the scratch. There are some pre-delivered content. So if it is matching your requirement, we can make use of them, which reduces your time and money of the project. So we need not to develop from the scratch. That's what.
Can you give me an example,
Let's say, for example, say I'm designing a sales order data model. I'm just designing a sales order data model for decision support system. So what is mandatory for us? Info objects. What is that? Cache and key figures. And we need to have info providers. Right? For data loading, we need to go by info sources, data sources, then transformations, like this. And on the top of this, we are supposed to design some queries by using your query designer. We are going to design some workbooks. We are going to design some web templates. So instead of designing this, there is some pre-delivered data model for sales orders. Similarly, there is a data model for purchasing. There is a data model for inventory. There is a data model for some other things like this. So that's what I mean to say. It is a set of pre-delivered objects by SAP with respect to applications. Means it is all delivered with respect to applications from an industry specific requirement also it is delivered, and even it is delivered by SAP with respect to country specific requirements. That's what I mean to say. So it is a set of pre-delivered objects by SAP with respect to different requirements. So what is the advantage? It's going to reduce your implementation time so that it can reduce your money of the project implementations. So it is a set of pre-delivered objects, and all the delivered objects are prefixed with 0 in SAP BABW system. Any questions? So next one, I'm just going for translation. Nothing to worry here. Using this, we can go for language conversions. We can convert the descriptions. We don't do this. Not to worry. Next one, I told you already. Metadata repository. Metadata repository. So what is this metadata repository? What is metadata? Right, which acts as a local search engine. Local search engine of the system. See, I'm discussing this topic. I've just done this topic just to tell you the terminology, especially just to tell you what is source system, what is data source, what is info source, what is transformation. These three elements are very, very important as part of our data loading. So from tomorrow's session, we are going to start designing the application. We are going to design a sales order data model. So everything we are going to design with respect to sales orders. So try to go through all this terminology. I'll just give you this.